Jackson here with head men's and women's tennis coach Simon Earnshaw to talk about the Pirates and Lady Pirates. Latest action, look ahead for the stretch run as the Pirates get geared up for the Peach Belt and NCAA National Championships. And Coach Earnshaw, you just returned from Las Vegas for a spring break trip where both teams remained unbeaten, but there were some really tense and tough matches out in Vegas.
Yeah, I think that part of the close matches on the men's side was really a function of the quality of the teams that we played, and obviously we played well, and I think that actually both sets of teams when we played fairly quality matches. On the women's side, this is not to say that we didn't play against good opposition, but I feel like we maybe have a little bit more control there with the outcome of some of those matches, and we've just not really been, certainly with our doubles, firing on all cylinders. I don't think there's any doubt about that when you look historically, not just on this season but through previous seasons, and that's something we need to put in a lot of work on in the upcoming weeks.
Now, in Vegas, you did extend your current winning streak to 61, which was a school record, actually got it to 62. Talk a little bit about what goes into a winning streak of that length.
Yeah, I guess I sort of had some realization that we'd won a lot of matches in a row. I didn't actually know it was that many, and now you say that, I'm kind of annoyed about the match against Lynn a couple of years ago where we were up 4-0. But that being said, I think that the main thing is that you have a 6-game winning streak at the end of the year, right?
Right. And
essentially, when you talk about what goes into that, we've been able to do that at the end of the season the last couple of years, and I think that more than anything else is what goes into having this length of a streak. I would like to say that you try to aim to win that many matches in a row, but I think realistically you've got to look at one match at a time, and I'm guessing we've won 63 right now?
63.
63, so maybe it's 63 one-game winning streaks, which would be what Bill Belichick would say when the Patriots managed to get 19 or 20 or whatever it was that they got in a row.
Now the Armstrong men have a huge match coming up on Friday as they take on #1 ranked Valdosta State. Talk a little bit about that matchup and maybe what you're trying to get out of that matchup heading into the conference tournament and to the postseason.
Well, we played Valdosta in the last match of the regular season last year, and they really kind of put one on us, particularly in the doubles. I didn't think we played poorly in that match. No doubt they were just better than us on the day, and in some ways that was kind of where we started to drop off a little bit at the end of last year. I think the players are excited, definitely, for this match. Valdosta has always been kind of a rival of ours. We have obviously two very strong teams this year. I think particularly theirs has a good mixture of experience. We have experience as well, but I think any time you're coming back from the type of experience they had in the final last year where they were so close and didn't win, that can really be a strong catalyst for the run that they're having this season. So, I mean, I just hope that we can get out there and really perform to the level of our expectations, and sometimes that first match after spring break can be a little difficult. I mean, you get a little bit out of routine, and now they're back in school. A little bit wary of how we'll perform, but I'm pretty sure that the guys will be up, and looking forward to definitely a very tough challenge and seeing how we match up and how we can maybe work on a few things down the road, because obviously, yes, it's important that we win on Friday, and it's always important that we come out on top, but ultimately, looking forward, I mean, we would ideally like to play them again at some point in time, and maybe we can pick up on a few things that we can maybe work on then over the course of the next 5 or 6 weeks.
Now this Sunday will be your final regular season home match, and you'll be honoring your 3 seniors. Give us a little bit of a little insight on your 2 senior women's players, Alita Millerell and Tina Rennell and your senior men's player, Rafael Ray?
Well, I think Alida and Tina are two just polar opposites as far as personality. Alida's extremely organised and structured. Tina is a little more flexible and got a different type of vibe, but, you know, they've both been extremely strong players for us in different ways. I think Tina is really a fighter and a competitor. She's what we would call a match player. She's definitely not a practice player. Alida, on the other hand, has been a player that we've seen just had tremendous growth in her time here and has always been one of our top players, but has never been in that role at the top of the lineup, and so I think that this is only right in her senior year that she's playing in the top spot, and so far so good. I mean, really was playing. I haven't quite found the form that she had in the fall. I felt like in the fall we were really on top of everything and really breaking new ground with her, and we're struggling a little bit. I think sometimes that senior semester can be difficult. You're going through a lot of change and transition, and I think that's brought out a few insecurities here and there with her. But I think once we get towards the end, I think she's going to sort of start to see a few familiarities of where she's performed well in the past and will do well. The men's side, Rafa has just really been he brings so many variables, and he's one of the few players that we really feel has the capability of not just raising the level of his game, but can raise the level of those around him, and also maybe suppress the level of the opposition around him. He's a bigger, a larger-than-life personality, and we're going to miss his presence every day at practice. I think that it's more so with him. It's more than just the matches and the amount of energy that he brings. It's the level of competitiveness that he brings to practice each and every day. Somehow, I don't know sometimes how he shows up at practice on time, but we could ask him to fight over a leaf on the far court, and he'll be fired up to do that. And I think that's the biggest thing that Rafa brings to this team. I think he really picks up the level of all the players around him, and that competitive spirit that he provides has been one of the reasons why during the time that he's been here we've had the most successful run in the history of the men's program.
Armstrong Atlantic hosts Valdosta State on Friday out at Bacon Park, and then Francis Marion on Sunday. Coach Earnshaw, thanks for joining us, and good luck this week, and we'll talk to you again before the tournament.
All right, cheers.